Hello, my friend. I pray that this finds you well from wherever and whenever you're tuning in. We are 5 days removed from celebrating Thanksgiving here in the United States. And I initiated what I'm calling a Thanksgiving challenge. What if Thanksgiving went from being a day on the calendar to being a daily practice? Even better, what if it went from being a practice that we do maybe when we say prayers in the morning or for food to something that is a running conversation with God? And the whole premise of this is Psalms 68:19 that says that blessed be the Lord who daily loads us with benefits. In other words, the benefits of God are always present. And not just that, they are present abundantly. What fluctuates, like God's blessings are a constant in our life. The variable is our awareness to it. But today, allow me to talk about how do you find gratitude when things are not going good. Earlier on, I just came from a funeral. My sister-in-law's brother, I guess I would say my brother-in-law, passed away. Not too long ago, my own dad passed away. How do we find gratitude when everything is not going right? Allow me to share with you three ideas from scriptures, and then I will finish with a closing thought. The first one is the story of Paul. Paul talks about a thorn that he had in the flesh, and we are not told what it is. All we know is that it was something that really, really bugged him to the point of him asking God many, many times to take it away. And do you know the Lord's response to Paul? He told him, I'll not take away the thorn, but my grace will be sufficient for you. And so, my friend, no matter what thorn, no matter what pain you might be experiencing, I want to remind you that God's grace, God's provision, God's providence is present. Number two, I want to take you to Psalms 139, I believe, where David basically says, where can I flee from your presence? And then David says something interesting. He says, even if I was to make my bed in Sheol, in hell, in the place of the dead, even there your presence would find me. And so, my friend, no matter whatever pain you're going through, God's grace or God's providence is not only present, but He promises His presence. He says He will never leave you. He says He will never forsake you. And the final story that I want to share with you is the story of Jesus Himself. And no matter what pain that we go through on this side of light, on this side of glory, nothing will ever come close to the crucifixion. The crucifixion is the darkest event, the darkest moment in history. And when Jesus was on the cross being crucified, Hebrews 12, I believe it's verses 1 and 2, gives us an inkling of what he was focusing on. The Bible says that let us run with endurance the race that is marked out for us, keeping our eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith, who for the joy set before him despised the cross, scorned its shame, and now he's seated at the right hand of God. In other words, when Jesus was going through that very horrendous experience, his focus was not on the cross, his focus was not on the pain, his focus was on the joy that was present before him. In other words, no matter what pain you and I are going through, there is joy, there is a promise set before us, right? There's a promise of grace, there is a promise of presence of God, there is a promise that God always works everything out for good, that something good will come out on the other end. We can stay focused on the joy, or if you will, the promise. One last idea, my friend, here. The last thought I want to leave you with is that we never practice for war in times of war. You practice for war in times of peace. And here's what I've learned. When I learn to be grateful in times of peace, when everything is going right in my life, it is that much easier to find gratitude when things are going wrong. So that's it, my friend. How do you find gratitude when things are not going right? Number one, look for God's grace. It's not only present, but it's sufficient. Number two, look for God's presence. Even if you are to make your bed in hell, He will be there. And number three, look for God's promise. Keep your focus on the joy that is set before you. And finally, be grateful when things are good. You know, gratitude is not a feeling. Actually, I want to go as far as saying gratitude is a skill. It's a habit. It's a discipline that we develop. And you can develop it or learn it like with any other skill. And the best time to learn a skill is not when the lights are on the stage, you know, on the day of the game. It's in times of peace. So that's it, my friend. I hope you will join me on this Thanksgiving challenge of just making Thanksgiving a running conversation with God. And with that said, allow me to finish by saying that right now, I am so grateful for this beautiful day. I am so grateful that I got to enjoy a very scenic ride. I am so grateful that I just came from playing with a jazz ensemble that I joined, and I can see the growth not just in me but also in the group. I am so grateful that I'm actually driving to meet a friend who offered to, you know, just out of the kindness of his heart, he's like, you know, how are you doing? I want to just come and follow up with you and see how you're doing. I'll take you out to lunch. I'm grateful that I get to go and enjoy a complimentary meal courtesy of my friend Bariben Bera, just the company of connecting with him and having a good time together. I am so grateful. There's so many benefits that we are loaded with and for which we can be grateful if only we take the time and the intentionality to spot them. That's it, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Blessings.